Hi, I'm Nathan Tannenbaum. These are just some of the stories that are coming from the Las Vegas Review-Journal in print and online. The state legislature did finish the 2009 session on time Monday night, but Governor Jim Gibbons not through talking about it. You know by now about the record number of vetoes that he issued, as well as the record number of veto overrides. Well, Gibbons sat down with the RJ's Capitol Bureau Chief Ed Vogel to talk about it. Check it out right here online and in Thursday's printed Review-Journal. Now, speaking of the legislature, term limits mean that the 2011 session is going to have to find new faces to fill some pretty big shoes. Some of the state's most powerful lawmakers are stepping aside. Now, without knowing for sure how the multi-layered changes are really going to play out, Ed Vogel takes a look at some possible scenarios. The activist voter registration organization ACORN made a court appearance Wednesday on the voter fraud charges announced recently by the Attorney General and the Secretary of State. A lawyer representing ACORN called the prosecution of the case politically motivated. We invite you to read more in print and online. Well, it was a big international story with a Las Vegas connection. Remember the tainted pet food cases traced to melamine-contaminated wheat gluten? Well, it was a Las Vegas company, ChemNutra, linked to thousands of pet deaths back in 2007 because they were an importer of the wheat gluten, which was then sold to pet food makers. Well, ChemNutra's co-owners have agreed to plead guilty to numerous charges in the case. Again, read all about it in print and online. Now, what's a farmer's market doing in the middle of a high-end Las Vegas strip hotel? Well, there it was in the middle of the Palazzo. May have been a one-time only event Wednesday to pump up an expected announcement from a restaurant there that wants to use local produce in their kitchen. Read more at a Review-Journal website or newspaper near you. You know, every week, Vegasland columnist Doug Elfman rounds up the gang of RJ Entertainment writers for a look at who's where and what's what for the coming weekend. Let's step out of the way for Doug's Reader's Digest version of What's Hot.
Ray Romano and Brad Garrett are back in town again. Richard Lewis and David Brenner are both in town. A couple of nut jobs, but fun. Bette Midler doing her 100th show. We have a Las Vegas movie actually filmed here, The Hangover. And we're going to look at Hugo's Cellar, which is one of the great local finds. Watch it all on Vegasland Video.
You got it. Vegasland up next in our multimedia page autoplay player. Also available with a click from the ReviewJournal.com homepage. Hey, speaking of the weekend, you don't want to miss our Almost Friday Neon Thursday. This week, including a look at the Super Summer Theater production of the musical The Buddy Holly Story. It's that outdoor stage out at the Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. And your weather forecast for the next 4 days. So far, not much impact yet from that low-pressure system threatening to move onshore in central and southern California. The winds picked up, the clouds have picked up, and that possibility of on-again, off-again isolated showers or thunderstorms is coming and going off and on through the weekend. But one thing that is sticking around is a cooling trend. Look for daytime highs to drop into the 80s, and overnight lows may sink into the 60s. For breaking news 24/7, you're at the right spot, ReviewJournal.com.